Oh my god, this is not a joke. We've reached peak gamer. They've made gaming foam. Elgato actually made gaming foam. This is craziness. Crazy. This has to be the most depraved thing I've seen from a company. Advertising 6 foam panels for $100.
That's kind of small.
All of this costs less than 1 pack of the Elgato foam. So a while back, I made a video titled Gaming's Greatest Scam, which was the gaming chair, and I didn't think I'd have to make a sequel to it. I think it just got topped by this product. Like how stupid, oh god, we gotta break this one down. So in this video, I'm gonna break down why you even need studio foam in the first place, what type of studio foam to get for things like Twitch and YouTube, how to make it cost like a quarter of the price, and why you should never, ever buy these, as well as a few other tips to make sure your room sounds fine. So we're just gonna jump right into this product. So what Elgato's doing is that they're advertising this, like, I'm sure very high quality foam panel system, but the problem is simply putting up some fancy strips behind your monitor isn't gonna fix your audio, like at all. And the price is crazy. They're charging about $100 for 2,100 square inches of foam. To show just how much of a bad idea this is, the wall behind me, the entire wall, is 8,000 square inches of studio foam. All those panels you see would cost $400 if you want that in like Elgato foam, which is crazy to me because that's only one wall. You still have 3 other walls plus a ceiling to deal with if you really want to deaden your room. This whole wall cost me about, I think, $40. Okay, to understand why this is such a terrible product, we have to understand what studio foam even does in the first place. I'm sorry this is so dirty. I pulled this from the floor as an example. In a nutshell, studio foam takes sound waves and turns it into heat. See, the reason your mic usually sounds bad is because there's so many reflections off the room. Instead of having these sound waves bouncing around, it just gets trapped in this thing, and all that excess energy just sort of gets absorbed, and through the like law of thermonuclear equal exchange or something, I think that's some Full Metal Alchemist. Thanks to Einstein's law, we can't obviously add or take away energy, so it gets transferred into these things. But the problem is, it's only gonna be a small band-aid on a much bigger issue, that is all the other walls in your room. Maybe if you're in a very long room and there's just one wall where all your reflections are coming off of, but for the most part, it's gonna be the walls behind you, your ceiling, your floor, windows, that's going to really up the quality of your mic. If you're making YouTube content or streaming Twitch in any form of bedroom, it's gonna be doubly bad for you because you have all these parallel walls everywhere. Whenever you have something like a ceiling or a floor and they're about the same flatness in terms of parallel and if you have any form of parallel walls, that's when you're gonna get extra reflections. Think of like a hallway. It's gonna be extra bouncy because the sound waves can more easily transfer back and forth between those. You'll often find that in a lot of recording studios that the walls aren't perfectly parallel. They're often askew. That helps with dissipating all of the extra sound waveforms. But of course, we're not gonna hire a construction crew to fix all that. We have to fix a lot of these reflections with foam. And hey, listen, if you've made it this far into the video, like, thank you, I appreciate it. Might wanna check out some of the stuff on my channel. I make some pretty fun content. What do you have to lose? Anyways, back to the point. If you're someone who's still interested in decking out your room in foam and trying to fix those spare reflections you have with your microphone, there's 3 things you need to do first before we even talk about this stuff. Step number 1 before you buy any foam is get your mic closer to your mouth. This will completely change the signal to noise ratio, allowing you to lower the volume of your mic while still getting a full rich signal. And if you want to make your sound great, you're gonna have to compress it and maybe even limit it. This is gonna actually end up bringing up the background noise. If you have your source closer to your microphone, it's gonna make your life so much easier. Even if it's a condenser mic, stuff a sock on top of it and get it close to your mouth. I don't care. It'll make it sound way better as opposed to having it like a foot away from you and your room sounds super bouncy. Number 2, buy a rug. Just get a rug if your room's not already carpeted. This will totally help with the reflections that are coming off your ceiling, coming foam. Typically, your ceilings are bare and they are a major sore spot for reflections. Anytime you are making noise, it's going to bounce off of there, bounce all around your room, it's gonna hit your mic. So getting a rug will eliminate like a good 20% of that problem and makes your room look nice. And number 3, buy a dynamic mic. These mics are excellent at rejecting any form of off-axis sounds. Using a dynamic mic will fix like a majority of your problems. Okay, did you check to see if you're doing all those 3 things? No? fuck it, whatever. So, okay, so you're willing to spend like 50 bucks on some studio foam to deck your room out. How do you even do it right in the first place? There's a wide range of options ranging from like super cheapo foam to like crazy fuck you money expensive. Fortunately, we're only focusing on Twitch and YouTube, which means we can cut corners, cut the costs by like a fifth while still decking out our room and making it look super cool. Designer brand foam, we don't need to worry about. There's different types of shapes, there's different types of sizes, and there's different densities. There's things like wedge, pyramid, egg crate, homeless, flat, wet. I think I already said wedge. I often like to stay away from any type of egg crate or pyramid. It doesn't really matter too much. You just get a lot less surface area. And if you think about it, if your foam is only like 1 inch thick and most of it's taken up by these like pretty deep swoops, you're not getting as thick or dense of foam. They can still work if you need to like patch up a few spots and you have extra. More importantly, in my opinion, is the depth of the foam. You've got 1 inch through 4 inch. Those are typically your ranges, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we can stick with 1 inch and 2 inch. Keep in mind, the key thing is here, you need enough of it for it to work. Plastering one whole wall in foam is not going to protect your microphone from getting reflections. You need to make sure you get the parallels. I cannot say that enough. So my first recommendation on what foam to buy is going on eBay and Googling remnant studio foam. 90% of the foam in this room is remnant foam I found on eBay for like 20 bucks for 40 of those square foot pieces. And my audio doesn't sound too bad. It's basically like slightly discolored or like you might get some jagged edges. I've never had a problem with a single piece of foam. Typically what I've seen recently is it's more the thinner like 1 inch stuff, but it'll still get the job done if you just want to cover as much square inch footage. This is a great, super cheap way to do it. The second route I recommend is going on Amazon and getting the cheap like 2 inch by 12 inch by 12 inch. It's just like these square foot panels. I think you can find the 2 inch stuff for a really reasonable price. You can get a bunch of it. I highly, highly recommend going that route. It's gonna save you a bunch of money. And hey, like worst case scenario, you can like return it. Like, I don't know. I personally wouldn't really go with the colored stuff. I like the gray look. It kind of goes with any form of lighting. I'm sort of stuck with these red ones, which kind of conflicts if I'm using like a blue and shining it on the background. It's a dumb point, but if you can find more neutral colors, it gives you more options in the long run for videoing. Yeah, so. Wherever you're going to be recording your sound, you want to make sure you have foam directly in front of you, behind your microphone, and wherever you look to your left and to your right, you're going to make sure that's covered too. Now, of course, they're waves. It's a circular, spherical thing. Spherical! It's not just like a flat plain wave, it's covering a 3D sound space. So that also means your ceiling is pretty vulnerable too. Now I understand for a lot of you, it's kind of hard to just glue a bunch of panels on your ceiling and like get away with it. So what I highly recommend is actually just getting a bunch of cardboard, gluing the foam to the cardboard, and then using command strips to adhere it to any type of surface. This protects the paint, this makes it easy to remove, and it lets you actually like move panels around to kind of see if you even like where they're sitting in the first place. So I highly recommend going the cardboard route. You can also just straight up just use command strips and bypass the cardboard, although sometimes the stuff doesn't lay out as flat. The foam can be a little bendy. So I do recommend gluing it to some surface and then hanging that surface elsewhere. So again, get the area like behind your computer, behind your monitor, or behind your microphone, and then get directly behind you. This is the most important part, is getting directly behind you. Again, this did not cost me much. I think the entire bill of this room, which granted is just covered in foam, you're not even seeing half of it, about 150 bucks just with the foam and shipping, which is a great deal. Such a neat look. I love it. It's such a cool aesthetic in my book, and your room can look just as good as long as you're not destroying the paint. I kind of fucked up and actually glued all the foam to the wall, so when I peel it off, like the foam peels off on the wall. So don't do what I did. So again, coverage is the most important thing here. Even if this Caillou motherfucker says like, oh, higher quality foam is better. Yes, it is, but this will totally get the job done for everything you're trying to do. I hope this helped you out. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you in like a week or two when I upload this crazy like 30-minute video that I'm cooking up. I really want to show you guys some of that video, but it'll be out when it's done. So make sure you're subscribed so you see all that, and I will catch you guys in a little bit.